Indiana leads the country in meth bus. Delaware County leads Indiana in meth bus. To some, it's disheartening. To others, it's a chance to unite.
Meth is not cool, and that is definitely the message that, that people, the story we're telling, and there should be no question of are we a smart city or a meth city, right? So that's a lot of it, just starting the conversation also that to answer that question, we're a smart city.
Mike Martin used to live in Muncie. He heard about the city's meth problem through the local newspaper and returned to try to help. He created an event called Make Music Not Meth, which was designed to inspire kids to work towards art and music and turn away from drugs. Martin said the community came together to make the event happen. Moth Danner and her mother Susan helped bring Muncie's art community into the fold. She said Make Music Not Meth showed Muncie is more than drugs and crime.
The goal is to show that the community cares, that there's alternatives, and specifically, as I mentioned to you earlier, that we want to show that people who are hip and cool support not being an addict.
While the event itself did not have an immediate impact on the meth numbers in Muncie, it certainly was enough to get a groove on. Tony Sandlaben for Unmasked: The Stigma of Meth. Neighborhoods. Places where people can live happily with their families and neighbors. That is, until meth is found.
It's just an all-around headache.
Jesse Gunner lives across the street from a former meth house. He was there when police raided the house and said the neighborhood has not been the same since.
There's been a lot of people that's actually moved out that was nice neighbors that lived around us that watched out for, each other. And that was kind of depressing and sad to see, several families move because of the meth problem that we had here.
According to Gunner, 4 of the 10 houses that share a block with this former meth house are now empty. The house itself was raided in 2014, and while the lawn has been taken care of, some of the evidence still remains. Gunner's neighbor, Walter Risch, says the people who lived in the house didn't keep quiet.
The last couple of years when it was occupied, a lot of shouting. There has been police cars out here. Saw a fire truck out here because they had a fire going on the side, and you can't burn fires in the open. Fire department came out here. My mailbox got knocked down. Guy told me he was teaching his 11-year-old son how to drive. I found that a little hard to believe.
Risch said others living in the neighborhood wrote a letter to the house condemning the people in it for their meth habit. Now that they are gone and the house has been boarded up, both Risch and Gunner hope people will return so the neighborhood can feel like a community again. Tony Sandlaben for Unmasked: The Stigma of Meth. Meth hits communities in different ways. It hits the people, it hits neighborhoods. But there's another place where meth has an effect: government.
Muncie is the worst in Indiana. And we've all been trying to figure out why are we worse than anywhere else.
State Representative Sue Arrington, who represents Muncie in the Indiana General Assembly, has been working to fight not only Muncie's meth problem, but all of Indiana's meth problem. One possible solution has been to require a prescription for pseudoephedrine, an essential ingredient to cooking meth. But Arrington brought up concerns.
People who, take those drugs for their allergies were afraid that it was, number one, going to be more difficult to get them, and some people need them on a pretty regular basis.
Representative Ben Smaltz of the Fort Wayne area authored a bill called Senate Bill 80, which was designed to fight the meth problem without interfering with those who regularly need Sudafed.
It allows you, somebody that is going into a pharmacy, if you have a relationship on record, then you're going to be able to buy pseudoephedrine products just like you always have. But if you go into a pharmacy and they don't know you, they've never seen you before, you don't have a relationship with them, well, now you really need to interact with the pharmacist who's going to try and determine what your need is.
Smaltz added the law allows pharmacists to make a judgment on whether they can get pseudoephedrine over the counter like normal, tamper-resistant products, a 3-day dosage, or if they need to get a prescription. The bill passed in the 2016 session and became law in July. According to Smaltz, success of the law can be measured by only one thing:
0 children in meth lab homes.
Tony Sandlaben for Unmasked: The Stigma of Meth.